Hi, I'm Janet King of IDG Research Services, and with me today is Julie Lynch of Uncommon Consulting, an expert in motivation, management, and meaningful work. So thank you for joining me today, Julie.
My pleasure, Janet. I have to say I was really excited to find out what you were developing in terms of a next-generation engagement survey.
Well, thank you. As you know, we've been working together for some time to develop this new employee engagement solution. So why don't we start by having you tell us a little bit about the state of engagement today?
Absolutely. Well, engagement matters. There's volumes of research out there now that makes a distinct correlation between engagement and things like productivity, profitability, customer satisfaction, innovation, and of course, retention. But engagement is suffering. For instance, Gallup just put out a survey saying that 71% of American workers are either not engaged or actively disengaged. So it's a problem.
Yes, and in fact, we've seen that in our own research. We recently did some research among HR executives in the U.S., and we found that 82% of them are interested in improving employee engagement at their organizations. And in our work together, you've really helped to show us the full picture of engagement at organizations today, and that we are really missing a crucial piece.
Well, right. Traditional employee engagement surveys have focused on the impact of organizational and management aspects of the company environment, and that's great. There's been huge improvement in organizational health with the insights that organizations have. For instance, if performance management or employee development is low on a survey, they can take action around that and provide management development or performance improvement process. So that's been hugely valuable. But what we haven't been able to measure is the other part of the puzzle, which is the individual aspect of company environment and really the intrinsic motivation that employees themselves bring to the organization and their capability of getting engaged themselves. So we've really missed a piece of that part.
Right, but the concept of intrinsic motivation isn't new, is it?
No, not at all. We've known intrinsic motivation is important since the 1900s, early 1900s, starting with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, Herzberg's work in hygiene versus motivation factors, Csikszentmihalyi's flow theory, and of course the more recent work by Daniel Pink. But your recent research really put a fine point on how important intrinsic motivation is to engagement.
Right, and we were really interested to see those results.
Well, I have to say, after 20 years of HR work and leading employee engagement programs, I instinctually know that intrinsic motivation is important and is a factor, but to see the hard numbers that our personal motivation and our capability around getting and staying engaged contributed to nearly half of the engagement question, that really spoke to me really around the frustration that executives feel when they feel like they've done everything they can from an organization and management perspective, but yet people are still disengaged.
I know, and that was a really significant finding, and it's certainly what we're hearing from our clients as well. And that's why we chose to partner with Motivation Factor to build out this next generation survey tool. I know that you use the Motivation Factor framework in your practice, so can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. Well, as you know, I'm a fan. I do use it in my practice. It's a new framework that really gives people the tools they need to get and stay motivated. It's based on the hierarchy of motivation, which was created from research, all those motivation theories that I just mentioned, and adding to that the new research in neuroscience and neuropsychology to create these 4 levels within the hierarchy, and each level gives us the knowledge and skills that we need to impact our own personal motivation in any context. What I love about your model is it's taken both the extrinsic motivators that we've always been measuring and adds to it this intrinsic motivation measurement and measurement of our capability, and really brought those two pieces together nicely. It's given us a way to measure something that we've not been able to measure before. And in my work, Uncommon Consulting is about purposeful engagement in meaningful work. And what that means is that the organization, the management, and the individual are equally accountable for their part of the equation. And your solution really gives us a new way to not only measure that, but manage it.
Well, thank you, and thank you very much for your insights today.
Absolutely, my pleasure.